Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I'm doing just a little bit more diamond painting, and again I'm trying to figure out my angles for my iPad. I think we can work with this. I am doing this differently than most diamond paintings that I'm doing because I'm just doing large sections because of all the color blocking. So what I thought I would talk to you about today is just catch up because it's a rainy day. I'm feeling sluggish. Part of me just thinks that I should just go lay down and stay in bed for the rest of the day, but I don't want to do that because this diamond painting is so simple, but it's so enjoyable. Some people don't like color blocking, some people don't like confetti, some people don't care either way, and I'm one of those who don't care either way. Some people like round, some people like squares, and I'm also one of those people that don't care either way. I just want to enjoy working on my diamond painting. So, whoops, I left some glue on my pen. So, I'm using a 10 placer. Now, I have gotten up to maybe an 18 or a 20 placer, but those are plastic and they invariably break every single time. Sometimes they break so bad I hadn't been able to get them out of the pen. Well, I found these multi-placers on Amazon, and they go from 2 to 10, and I found that 10 is the perfect amount. I don't know if you saw how those 10 just went down just like that. So what's nice about this is this might be the 5th diamond painting that I'm working on with this multi-placer, which means hours and hours and hours of diamond painting, and it's not going to break. It's perfect. And I know that like our smaller creators and sellers sell things like multi-places and things like that, but I found these on Amazon and I snatched them up, so I'm just really happy with that. So just trying to get to this bottom. I could put this diamond painting up, and then this would be here, which is an easier level to work by, but I'm just wiping out this whole row, so that's bringing me down to the bottom where you see me working. So the last couple of days have been a couple of good days. I had my meeting yesterday, and we had an African brother that was on Zoom, and he did a great job as our speaker. And he talked about, oh goodness gracious, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a complete blank. I'm drawing a complete and utter blank. Oh, how we are identified by love. Back in Bible days, people were recognized as prophets, as scholars, or whatever made them who they were. But we're recognized by the love that we have for one another. Boy, I'm glad I remembered that because I'd really be mad at myself if I didn't. So, since I got this bottom part done, we are going to adjust the camera. Let's see if I can do that. Well, the iPad. Because we want to work. Sorry for putting my finger over there. Let's see where we at. This WIP and Chat and the one before this is all so that when I go live on this channel, I can go live with my iPad. That's my hope. Okay, so I'm looking for this symbol. L is blue. I have my drills over here by color. I have yellow, creams, and whites, and then I have pinks, purples, then I have blues, then greens, then browns, and then grays. So they're not in any numerical order, but they're in color order. So when I look at like a symbol here, I'm not looking at the symbol itself so much as I'm looking at the color, which here is a brown. So it tells me that it tells me that it's a blue, so that tells me where that particular stack is on my table. So let's do this one more time. So, reading. What have I been reading? So let's bring up my spreadsheet. Now, the book I am reading right now is called When We Were Innocent, and let me tell you, it is a very, very difficult book to read. In fact, it's so difficult to read that I gladly stopped. It's by Kate Hewitt, by the way. She writes great, fabulous historical fiction. It's so difficult for me to read that it was easy for me to stop reading to make this video because of the intensity of that book. And the bottom line is our character, Daniel Weiss, is quite possibly a Nazi, a former Nazi, living as, his name I think was Hans Brenner when World War II was going on, but he's living as Daniel Weiss. And he's raised a daughter. He's now living with his daughter and her husband and their 2 teenagers. He's been living with his daughter for like 10 years, and someone knocks on their door and says, "We have every reason to believe that your father is a Nazi war criminal, and we're looking for proof so that we can prosecute him and put him in prison for the rest of his life." Thing is, he's 96 years old, so he doesn't have a whole lot of life left in him, but our character, Libby, feels, of course, if he's guilty, I want him prosecuted. But you're wrong. He can't be guilty. So our story goes back to the past in Sobibor, Poland, where he was, where he got a recent assignment, and he went there under pretty much false pretenses or naivete. He didn't know that it was a death camp. And it took a minute for him to realize that he was now an SS soldier working in a death camp with the job of condoning, if not actually hitting the switch to kill tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Jews. He's, in his mind, a simple accountant. He's just going to count. He's going to count possessions and any monies they find, and he's going to make an accounting, and that's his job. Well, he's also there with his sister, who he's the guardian of, and she knows right from the start that things are not rosy, that this is no, because he's thinking that it's a stopping point before they go off to their next destination, and then they can start new lives. Well, she knows something else is up. So then when we get back to present day, Libby is facing a moral dilemma. Does she confront her father about him possibly being this Hans Brenner, this SS officer? Does she look for his innocence, or does she look for his guilt? And based on what she finds, how does that affect her, her husband, her children, which are his grandchildren? And all I wanted in the book so far, and how far am I in this book? I am currently 62%. So I'm not more than an hour or so away from finishing it. What I did not want in this book is I do not want to feel sorry for Daniel. I don't. And I don't know if this book is going where Kate Hewitt is going with the flashbacks of Daniel being in Sobibor, Poland. So that's what I'm reading now. I also read Death Among the Diamonds by Fliss Chester, and it's Cressida is our character, and it's the first book in a historical cozy mystery series. And if you know me or you follow me on this channel or on my blog, you know that I love cozy mysteries. So that was nice to read a new book. To start a new book in a new series. Now, Cressida, or Cress as she's called by her friends, has a little pug named Ruby. Took a second, because you know me, I don't write stuff down. She has an adorable little pug named Ruby, and I love it when our protagonists in these little cozy mysteries have a pet. And in most cases, it's a dog, but there's quite a fair share of them with cats. So that was a nice little book. I also read, I'm trying to think of books that I read. I think that's about it, because everything else that I read, I've already talked to you about. Yeah, I've already talked to you about it, so there's really nothing for me to talk about. I can tell you again what I will be reading. It's The Girl from Guernica by Karen Robards. Do You Take This Man by Denise Williams. The Winter Orphans by Kristen Beck. The Book Haters Club by Gretchen Anthony. Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Rayburn. And Drunk on Love by Jasmine Guillory. In addition to those, I have Death on the Menu by Emma Davies, which is a cozy mystery. Taken Before Dawn by B.R. Spangler, which is a crime thriller, and it's part of a series. The Foster Family by Nicole Trope. Now, Nicole Trope writes the fabulous psychological thrillers. The New Couple by Allison James. No doubt that's going to be another psychological thriller. And my last one from Bookouture is The Child Between Us by Alison Ragsdale. So those are my Bookouture books. And then there's two more that I have lined up for three more for September. An Autumn Kiss, which is an anthology. The Italian Daughter by Soraya Lane. And Millstone of Doubt, and I didn't write the author's name. But I got a couple of audiobooks, okay? My audiobooks, the one that I'm listening to right now is 100% fabulous. It is Agatha Christie's 12 New Marple Mysteries, written by a bunch of different authors, like Agatha Christie herself, but there's also Naomi Anderson, Leigh Bardugo, Alyssa Cole, Lucy Foley, Ellie Griffiths, Natalie Haynes, Jean Clark, Val McDermott, Karen McManus, Dreda Say Mitchell, Kate Moss, and Ruth Ware. And each of these novellas in this anthology are performed by different audiobook narrators. So I'm listening to that and loving that. And then I just got approved for a Shalini Boland book, and I love Shalini Boland, so I'm just trying to refresh my neck out. It's called The Millionaire's Wife, and that's going to be another psychological thriller. So my next 2 weeks, I will try to do, I know I could be putting my drills down. For the next 2 weeks, every single book that I just named, I will be reading. So what I'll try to do, since I think that this camera angle is working, is perhaps read 5 or 6 books at a time and come tell you about them in that manner, and still do my book review videos. So I just wanted to pop in. I do want to tell you, I babysat my granddaughters, Ava, Mia, and Kaya last night. I spent the night at their house. We had a little party, kind of like we watched a movie. They have a home theater, and so we watched a movie, and it was Despicable Me 2, which I thought was hilarious since I am not a movie person, but I loved it. We made popcorn. They have an old-fashioned kettle corn popcorn maker, so Kaya, who's only 8, knew all the steps to using this machine, and I was really reluctant to do this without my son-in-law or daughter there, but Kaya had every confidence, and we made 2 batches of popcorn. And today Lila is here, who is Alan's daughter, but he's with her now, and she's most likely about to take a nap, so she'll be here for a couple of days. And so she leaves on Wednesday, and then on Friday I'm babysitting Olivia and Demetrius. So I'm loving the time I'm having with my grandchildren. And something else I want to throw in there. I know I'm talking books mostly and my grandkids, but if you like games that have different levels, I got clued into this game called Golf Peaks, okay? And it is a multi-level game that increases with difficulty each level you play. So there's a bunch of us playing it now. Mikey, Ari, Demetrius, myself, not Demetrius, Avery, myself, and Alan. I think Alan's played a few rounds of it, but he hasn't dove into it yet. So I'm really enjoying that. And my son-in-law, Jamin, told me about a game called Portal for the Switch. So I have my Switch in here. And here it is right here. And my stranger, it's a stranger to me. So Portal is I guess, a multi-level game, but I'm having trouble downloading. You can see right here, I'm sorry, I can't put it, but on the left, you see right here where my thumb is, that's not downloading. It keeps saying corrupted data, but I will come out of that for a minute. But I just want to show you, just bear with me. But Portal 1 is fully downloaded, so it's behind here, it's over here, this thing is doing its own thing. So I will be playing Portal, and to tell you about the other games, as I mentioned, Golf Peaks. Here's Golf Peaks, and the world I'm on, I think I'm on World 7, Level 5. So that's where I am. I'm on this world. And then the third game along this line that I'm going to be playing with my grandson Avery over, like back and forth with text messaging, is Monument Valley. So there's Monument Valley, Golf Peaks, and Portal. Those are puzzle games, and if you know me, I love puzzles. Plus, of course, every day I play Wordle. I sometimes play Setacurdle, Duo, Trigirdle, Quirtle, and Octurtle, and all the other variants, Nerdle, but I'm doing more of the video game type games after I play my words. And I'm still doing all my book review videos. There's a good dozen that are scheduled, all made, and so far I've read 2 more books. So usually what I'm going to do is like do a dozen videos at a time. And so when these videos, like, I'll pick up some videos in a week and then make a bunch more, and then I'll wait a few days and make a bunch more, and that way there'll always be content on this channel. So that's about it. Looks like I gotta straighten up these drills right here, but I'm gonna let you go, just telling you what's been going on in my little world, and I will be back with another WIP and Chat in a few days after I read a few more books. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.